Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How we doing today? How are we doing? Hopefully, we are doing fine. I decided to if I was going to discuss Charlie Kirk next week. I will not be doing a show Monday because I will be out of town. So no show for Monday. We'll pick back up. Yeah. I'm going to talk about it. The only thing I'm going to say right now is this. How did the context, whatever circumstances surrounding his unfortunate death turned into something that Black people needed to be divided over? Still trying to figure that one out. That's my question. Okay. Because I'm trying to figure it out. What you talking about? Why is that a big discussion? And I mean going at it. That didn't have nothing to do with us. That didn't have anything to do with us. Nothing. Anyway. Thanos upset. Feeling a type of way. It's a deeper issue. I did not really have time to parse out the real issues underlying why everybody has such strong feelings one way or the other about that situation. Right. Thank you, sis. That's my sentiment. Even though it was unfortunate, I don't agree, obviously, with just wanton killing just because you may not like somebody's opinion or you might not like what they stand for or this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I also feel like you die as you live. And it's up to Allah how you're spoken about. And the reason I say it's up to Allah how you're spoken about, because you'll be spoken about given what you put out into the world. That's gonna come back to you, and it might come back in a distasteful way. It may come back distastefully. Y'all silly in this chat room. The only thing that I will amend in this comment, if I could, is the we. It's not we, it's them. Because when we as black folk are up to foolishness and gunning down folks in the hood, they don't say that's America and we gotta fix it because it's American. They say them Negroes over there need to fix their community because they are inherently bad. And they need to fix it, need to figure it out. The monkeys over there are always doing something to each other. They're inherently violent and they need to figure it out. That's what they say. They do not include themselves in any of it. But that aside, we'll save that for when I talk about that. No problem. But anyway, we are going to be on to Miss Brittany. Okay. Miss Brittany. She never left the streets. Before we go on to play the video, which I'm gonna put up a little thing so you don't have to, or I may not put up nothing. Who knows? I just want to let you hear it. She never left the streets. Like I said before, I may not have spoken a whole lot on the whole she trying to be quote unquote Muslim situation, but I saw it for what it was and just waited for it to play out. That's it. That's all. Because that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. She didn't leave the street and come back. She never left the street. Now she back doing the social media chitlin circuit. She back doing that. So we're going to, I don't know who this guy is that's interviewing her. I never heard of his channel before or whatever. But I want y'all to listen to how he's speaking with her. And you put in the chat as it go why you think he's talking to her like that. So I'm not even gonna switch frames. Y'all gonna see me make faces as she talk. Here we go.
Like in that realm, I feel like it's just more centered around the group dynamic and its dysfunction. So naturally, I don't think they even captured our friendship accurately, in my opinion. So, but we made real friends.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Y'all are great friends, obviously. Man, there's such a, like, for some reason, such a negative connotation of being like a baby mama. Like, whether the relationship you were in was super like healthy and good and you had a kid and you brought a kid into the world and it was whatever, for some reason people always take that and run with it.
Yeah.
And a narrative is painted that's so negative sometimes. So how do you guys feel about that, and why do you think that is? I mean, I've felt for you just seeing like some of the stuff you've gone through comments wise, and I haven't known you as long, but I'm sure it's similar. Like, where do you think that negative connotation comes from? And speak on that a little bit.
I feel like ever since
now, that's not Brittany speaking. There are two women. There are two women sitting here. The one that's talking is this lady here in the blue. Okay? So the first woman that you hear is her, not Brittany. And then Brittany's going to speak.
my ex and I were together and he posted me, it was like, oh, you're a gold digger. And this was before we even brought Zoe into the world. So I feel like people just think that you're kind of out there for what players can offer you, like financially and just all of that. But my situation, I feel like is like maybe like 10% of the league. Like I knew him before in high school. Like my situation is very different. So like having to deal with that publicly was really hard.
Her situation was different. They always want their situation to be not like what you thought it was. She's talking about knowing whoever her baby daddy is. I don't even know who she is. Denise Garcia. I don't know who she is. And and we knew each other and this and that, and trying to act like she just had no idea that his student athlete career would end up going bigger than the school. Because apparently he's some type of athlete, because that's how she refers to him. But we gonna let it play.
I don't understand why fully. Like
that's
we
honestly,
get that
in your situation, like when you talk about athletes or people that end up having money, it's their dream scenario to, stay with the girl that they went through high school with and grew up with, and that was your and Zoe's situation, and so I don't really understand.
And I was an athlete myself too. Like I had my own stuff going on. I was a soccer player, he was basketball, so it was like I had my own ride somewhere to go play and he had his own. So I felt like that kind of brought us together because we both were student athletes, but we didn't think anything like, I didn't think that, I didn't know what to expect. So I was kind of just experiencing it first. And we were so young too, like.
Didn't know what to expect. You may not be able to be clairvoyant, but you can see when somebody is on a particular trajectory. You know what I'm saying? You can see that. It's obvious. If they're gonna go pro, if they're good enough in college and this and that to go pro, that is information that you know well before you graduate, before you actually get there and things of that nature. He's discussed it, because this is not a surprise to them. When these athletes, these football players and basketball players are gonna go pro, gonna get drafted and things of that nature, that is not a surprise to them. First of all, they were working to get to that point, most of them. And once they get to a point where they feel like they're worth going to the pros and that a pro team should look at them, the scouts come. The scouts come to the college games, the NFL scouts, the NBA scouts. They've been scouting those players since sophomore, junior year, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, tracking their collegiate career. The scouts have come. So the young men are always very excited about the prospect of being picked up by a pro team. So none of this is a surprise to the athlete themselves. They already know what they're trying to do. Their coaches have alerted them that, scouts from such and such team is here to watch this game. And specifically, he watching you and you. So you better get out there and put on your best game because they're watching. No heat, no pressure. Go have a game. They already understand what's going on. Nothing is a surprise, is my point. So because nothing is a surprise to the athlete themselves, they're going to talk about it to if they got like a stable girlfriend, they're going to talk to her about that. They family, friends, everybody that's close enough around them knows. The people who are fans of them in the college as they play the game know. That word spread. So this is not, so her getting up here, my point is cap. Her getting up here talking about she just didn't know what the trajectory was going to be. She knew exactly what the trajectory was going to be because he told her. Now, watch Brittany chime in. Watch what she do.
looking back, I'm like, I don't know how I even was able to navigate that, but I learned a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you have handled it well. Like it hasn't taken away, like since I've known you, it hasn't taken away like your joy of life. You
Yeah.
still like to have fun. You're still Denise. It hasn't
Yeah.
like beat you up too much. So
Thank you.
in this world, like it's good to have thick skin. Your situation's a little different because you met PJ like later on, correct? How long have you known him? What was that like?
Yeah, I met him. I think we had started kind of like talking in 2019. So kind of like right before he had got drafted, you know. But let's reverse 1 second, because before we go on to that, because that is whatever. You have made comments.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're asking us about how do we feel being on the other side of it. My question to you is, you have made comments saying that you would never wife someone who has a child with someone in the league. So my question to you is, like, what inspired you to feel that way? And what connotation do you have about women who have a child with a basketball player?
Yeah,
See what she did there? See what she did there? Did y'all recognize what just happened? He asked a question. The first girl answered the question, even though it was Cap. She answered the question. That was Brittany just talking. He brought up, okay, so how long did you know? When did you meet PJ? Speaking of PJ Washington, her baby daddy. She said, exactly. She said, you know, I met him around 2019. You should have seen her body language. I wish I could show you the video, but I don't want my video to get demonetized or whatever. I met him, it was 2019, right before he got drafted. But we gonna ask you a question. So she didn't answer the question about how she had took her grown self, her out of school self, her non-school attending self to those college basketball games where PJ was playing to floss around and sashay. Okay, you better work, sashay. Shantae, she went over there to sashay Shantae with PJ Washington. He's much younger than her. He was gonna be enamored that a baddie would, quote unquote, come try to get him. You know what I'm saying? He not even a baller yet. You know, and she, you know, all of that. So he feeling like the man because this little baddie done came through. Oh, Brittany Renner, she bad. Oh, she, you know what I'm saying, up on a dude. Oh, she on my body. He's flattered. He's enamored. He feel like the man. He playing this game. He about to get drafted. He about to be a baller, and he about to have a baddie. He got the life. He got the life. You can't tell that young man at that time he had a life. He catching hell now. He catching hell with her now. But at the time, you couldn't beat it with a stick, baby. He was doing, hey, you know what I'm saying? He was doing it big with her. No, he tried. He tried to take her serious. That was the whole problem. That was the problem. That was the problem, Miss J. He was trying to, because that's how she was talking about it, and you know what I'm saying, you know, she had, you know, set it up like they was also like a couple for real. She the one started acting a fool. She started acting a fool because she never left the street. She was always gonna be who she was. Couldn't settle down, couldn't figure it out. She fumbled him, right? Because he was about to do it. He was about to do it. But she fumbled him. Because she got back on that BS not that long after. Not that long after they had got together, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. She, you know what I'm saying? She never stopped being who she is. He thought maybe, just maybe, I could turn this hoe into a housewife. You know, she bad. This will be, quote unquote, a good look for me based on just how she looked. Then he he encountered who she was, but not before he got her pregnant. Now it's like, oh man, I done got this chick pregnant. Now he got to deal with her because you know she's gonna keep the baby. She about to keep the baby, but she wasn't smart enough to lock him down in a relationship, stay a little longer, like how Travis Hunter's hyena doing him. She pregnant like a big dog. Okay? So she couldn't chill long enough to get him truly locked in. But she also felt like, I'm pregnant, he a baller, I'm gonna have a paycheck regardless. He's gonna be a cash cow regardless. And then I get to still do what I want to do. If I want to be out here and be thotting and bopping and all around these different men, blah, 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 I got this baby. I eat this child support paycheck. I can still live the lifestyle. Da, 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 da. So she deflects this entire question. Doesn't want to talk about how she went to that young man and Shantae had his nose open wide enough to park a John Deere tractor in it. Okay? But she showed her back feet a little too much. It was a little too much. And young man or not, he must have had somebody in his ear that he respected that told him, you better leave her alone. You better leave her alone. She about to get you, bro. You better leave her all the way alone. Like, stop it. Stop. So he must have had some man, or somebody that he respected, man or woman, whatever. Somebody that he had respect for and would listen to, kept telling him, cut it out. Finally, he went on ahead and cut her out, but he hadn't already got her pregnant. So can't cut her completely loose. You're out of the relationship, but now you can't really cut her off because now that's the mother of your child. No. He got somebody. If nothing else, Deion Sanders said out his mouth, he told that boy. You don't want to listen. Deion even went so far as to bring Brittany Renner in to talk to them about how hoes run game, and he still did it. Oh, he had plenty of warning. That's why I say I don't feel sorry. When the hammer dropped, you know, life come at you fast. I don't know.
A good question.
We'd love to hear the answer.
What is my connotation? I don't have a negative connotation to it. I think that, you know, my right-hand man, Nicodemus, you've met little Nick, I think, or you know about little Nicodemus, the little baby I'm always with, and him and his wife just separated, and Nicodemus has spoken just on the difficulties it brings once you have a child to then like move on. Like it takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role, take on that, and it can get really messy, like when you're going into life with a woman who has a child and now you're having to navigate like how close are you going to get with the child? How does the baby daddy feel about you getting close to the child? So I don't have a negative connotation. I feel like for me, because I don't have any kids, it's something that I've always thought I would steer away from, but
he backpedaling and molly trotting. Backpedaling, molly trotting, tap tap dancing all over the answer. Instead of saying what it is. I don't want to be with a woman, first of all, that has a child with another man, especially so if she has a child with a public man, with a high profile, highly visible man, and that is the mother of his child. You know, that's a whole situation that I would just rather not deal with. And so for me, it's going to be a no, because it's too much to add. It's too much to navigate. It's too much baggage, and I'm not going to do it. Won't just say that.
Truly feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized like once you meet someone and you're really down for them, then everything that comes along with them, you can decide if you want to take that on or not. I don't have a negative connotation like, oh, that person has a child, so they're untouchable, and that's like a negative thing. I just feel like you have to weigh it out. You have to, because it does, it comes with a lot if you're willing to take that on. So I don't view it negatively. The comments I said about what comments are you specifically talking about?
I think you're talking about when he said that he wouldn't like somebody that was already
that had talked to an athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like if you dated like publicly like a player, it would be hard just because of, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be hard. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that? I'm curious on y'all's thoughts, because to me, like I said in the comments, like it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you. Like I don't know.
It's tough. Like I feel like
I could be tripping though. It could be like an ego thing or like a
insecurity thing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just how I've always felt. But I'm open to change. I'm not stuck in my ways.
I feel like I see why guys are hesitant with certain girls, because I even see certain girls and I'm like, you make it hard for us women to be taken seriously as like, mothers versus baby mama. Or
he tap danced and tootsie slided all around that. Then she called him insecure after he tap danced around. Listen, let me tell y'all something about tap dancing around these hyenas and tap dancing around them because they cute. Matter of fact, I'm going to hold that thought because we're going to go to a commercial break. So after these messages, we'll be right back because I need you guys to go to ashkicking.com. If you want to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, then you definitely need to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. All right. You need this body butter right here. And if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Okay. The problem with tap dancing and soft shoeing around a hyena for both men and women, but particularly men, it emboldens them to be the hyena that they are. The reason why Brittany not gonna leave the streets until the streets just spit her out and won't take her back is because of that behavior right there. She realizes that no matter how she behaves, no matter what she does, it's gonna be a man out there that is going to give her a pass because she's pretty. So they're going to give her a pretty pass. And they're not going to hold her accountable because they want access to her. Whether that's sexual access or whether that is access for her to come on their platforms and they can get clicks and views and things of that nature. So she won't be so upset so that they can continue to contact her and, have interviews with her and this, that, and the third. So when they don't hold her really accountable, What that tells her is that, oh, you want to continue to have access to me. And it emboldens not only their behavior away from you and in their own personal life, it emboldens them to talk to you a certain kind of way, because I guarantee you, he just dropped in respect. Not that he necessarily might have been looking for respect, but whether he was or not, he don't have it now. That conversation, and this is not even 10 minutes in, that conversation let her know everything she needed to know about this dude. Because as a lioness, I see the same thing. So you a noodle bag. Oh, okay. So you don't stand on business. You don't stand on business? Not gonna repeat what you said, quote unquote, on your show, like she got the right to pull somebody's card. She pulling somebody's card for real. So she gonna put somebody on the spot. And you as a man, this guy as a man didn't say it with his chest. Whatever he said before, he should have repeated it verbatim. Yeah, that's how I felt about that. Oh, anytime you gotta over-explain, that's how I felt about that. Yeah. So go ahead. Let's come back to the question. Because she would not have liked him standing on business, but she wouldn't have been able to do nothing but respect it, and she would have stayed there for that interview. He wasn't going to lose access to her. He was not going to lose access to that interview, because even if she got mad and walked off, that's the same viral moment. He was going to get the clicks anyway. He was going to get the clicks and the views anyway. So this is how hyenas move, how they continue to move. If the men are wondering why the hyenas are not incentivized to make any kind of changes, to modify their behavior at all, they talk to men crazy, they move crazy around men and all this type of stuff. If y'all are wondering, these men are why. These men are why. Because whether it's public or private, some man somewhere is going to bend. He gonna let her say foolishness to him. He gonna let her say stupid stuff. He gonna let her do what he just did, move the goalposts, deflect, not answer questions. You know what I'm saying? She's being chaotic right now, and he not checking it. You don't gotta cuss her out. You just gotta be firm. You just gotta be firm in what you said. Let's come back around to the question though. So how did you meet PJ, and what was that, you know what I'm saying, situation like as y'all developed y'all relationship? That's all you gotta do. Ain't nobody saying he gotta cuss her out. Ain't nobody saying he gotta call out her name. But as long as she can find more than a couple of men that'll bend to her will, even privately, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the guy that talk tough. Because she has, I guarantee you, dollars to donuts, that she has gotten those men that with their chest around her and talk about, and she's gotten them in public, in private, eating out the palm of her hand like a little puppy dog. Also, you a being too. That's what be making them feel like they that girl. That's what make them feel like that. You gonna let me get away with it too. You gonna let me talk slick outside of my neck too. You may not stand for me just cussing you out or nothing like that, but I'm gonna say, you know what I'm saying, a little this and a little that, and we gonna see how much of it you let slide. But we're going to move a little bit further.
I'm not going to judge anyone for it. If I don't want someone to judge me for my past, I cannot judge them. And I feel like, of course, I am always going to be very vocal about that group of people that I feel like, you know, if you have had public relationships or you've just lived a very public life like myself, I always found myself going to bat for and being that voice for that. Because, you know, for me, it's like, I live my life out loud. Like, I mean, pretty much everything I've done, you can Google and find it. So I feel like you not wanting children, like with someone who already has a kid because you don't have children, is a very different energy than, oh, you dated this basketball player who took you seriously, who you thought was your end game, and like, I wouldn't look at you as that. Like, to me, that's very egotistical. Again, your preference, you're allowed that.
This is her trying to shame not that guy. She's talking to every other man that she still want access to. She's not even talking to that guy. She's talking to every other man that she still want access to. And she's essentially begging them to still take her seriously. Yeah, I know. She trying to capitulate to a certain degree. Okay, you know, I live my life, quote unquote, out loud. You can find the stuff that I've done publicly because I've done it publicly. You can Google me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are in the public knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. She thinks that because she done hold publicly, that she's been a public harlot, that transparency should negate the negative connotation that being a harlot has. She thinks that because she's been transparently who she is in terms of how she move around with men and all of that type of stuff, that's supposed to offset the negative thoughts that men carry when it concerns women who they feel like or who they know move like harlots around men. You're never gonna stop it. Brittany, it's not gonna change. I don't care what the men say to you to get you in that bedroom. I don't care how they say they ain't judging it. I don't care how they say they don't care. I don't care how they say make you feel good about the whole situation. They're just doing that so they can get a piece of you. They could not care less. And they still see you as a scum. They still see you as a whore. They still see that the men, for the vast majority, they see it. You can't change the connotation. You can't change their minds. You can't change their minds, whether you're transparent about it or not. The only thing that your transparency about being how you move and how you think about men, the only thing that the men can kind of respect is the fact that it's transparent. However, the thing about that as well is that they know definitely to put you in the whole category. There's no guessing. They won't guess. Your honesty about that doesn't make them see you as a better woman. They just say, oh, you're being transparent about it. I know to make you a whore. I know to make you a whore. Same way is if I went to the Blade and paid $40, I know she a hoe. I know what I'm doing. And I know what she doing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that you did was remove the so-called chameleon, you know what I'm saying, trying to fake like it's something else. You just removed the cover. They still gonna think you're a whore. They're still gonna move with you like you're a whore. A pretty whore. One that they wouldn't mind going back to. But I don't know, because Kevin Gates' little weird self put you on blast. He hit us with what we knew was coming. Because he said he was waiting on that thing to be thinging, and it never did thing. Never did thing. He said he was waiting on that thing to start thinging. He said that's why he kept on coming back, because he was waiting on when it was going to start thinging. And it never did. Never did. The cake never did rise. Po cake. Po cake. He said you didn't even so much as eat it off the bone. Anytime you got weird little Kevin Gates clowning you,
like whatever your preference is, there's someone out there for everyone. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I also feel like though that men collectively not only have like pretty low self-esteem for the most part, or their ego is astronomical. I feel like men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power. You just don't. So it's like, again,
You don't think so? You don't think
a
that some
man
women
cannot
are
permanently
damaged?
taint me. It's just like,
Not
because
you, maybe you're very a strong, independent woman, but a lot of women are they've had relationships that have completely.
you can't taint. Again, she's dry bagging these men. She not talking to that guy. She's dry bagging the men out there, whoever might be listening, and saying no matter how many eggplants I have peeled and eaten, you can't call me an eggplant eater. You can't do that to me. They ain't no way. No matter how many eggplants I have jumped on, I can't be tainted by eggplant. You can't tell me that the eggplant did something to me. How you gonna tell me? So don't believe your lying eyes, men, because yes, I have jumped on many eggplants, many of whom you may be familiar with or know personally. But get that out your mind. We're not dealing with that. We moving on to the next thing. That was in my past. This is in the future, or whatever. And so we don't need to be concentrated on which eggplant it was. Because what that got to do, what that eggplant got to do with you. Today's price is not yesterday's price. What got to do with you? That's what she's saying. She not talking to that man. She talking to the other men. That's who she talking to. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me that I done jumped on X amount of eggplants and that's supposed to bother you somehow? You insecure. You insecure as a man. You you don't know what's going on as a man, because come on. I don't have attachment issues just because I've been slowing around. I don't have issues with emotionally bonding with men, and you know what I'm saying? A million eggplants didn't put me into chaos. And I can't even take no structure from no man or nothing. The only thing I can take from a man is the eggplant. I can't take nothing else from him. I don't want nothing else from him. Oh, and some money. We can do money. How dare you? She is talking to all of those other men. This is her dry begging to get picked up by somebody, anybody. She thought throwing on, and y'all thought y'all call yourself, some of y'all, not everybody, but you know who y'all call yourself, calling me out when I said she put that thing on her head. That wasn't no hijab. Just because you wrap something on your head don't make that a hijab. How you carry it make it a hijab. Any fool can throw something on their head. And I said that was a thing she threw on her head. And it was. It proved it out. She proved it out. Because ain't there no more. And she back talking crazy. She back doing hoe talk. She back doing hoe talk. She back on the social media chitlin circuit doing hoe talk to make her some money. Sound like a baby. So that's all I have for y'all today. I'm going to cut this short just by a few minutes. All right. We're going to go ahead and cut it short. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Hit y'all with that. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, is the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.